Hi, I'm Hillery Shay. I am the VP of Marketing and Communications here at Children's Minnesota. And the thing I remember most about my childhood was the blizzard of '76.
Welcome to Childhood Chatcast with the Dude. I'm the Dude, and as usual, I'm joined by Jake. Hey, Jake.
Hey, dude.
And we're going to take a deep dive into the kid experts here at Children's Minnesota's childhoods to find out what makes us all the same. Because, hey, we were all kids once. And as a twist, I am going to try to guess their birthday.
Their birthdays?
Their exact birthday, the date and year. So join us in the time machine I built out of cardboard boxes and duct tape, and let's meet our guest.
Hey, dude.
Hey, Jake.
Were you ever into boy bands?
It's funny you say that, because I remember one day, I know I was a new kid on the block. It was a really hot day. It was 98 degrees, and I was trying to learn some choreography, staying in sync with the music that I was playing, and I was in the back street with these boys. And, they went one direction, I went another direction, and they became a brand new addition. But it's funny you ask, because our next guest on the Chatcast really liked the boy bands. Oh, okay. So you grew up in Boston.
Mm-hmm.
What did your folks do?
So my mom was a manager for New England Telephone Company at the time, and my dad was a foreign auto mechanic.
Oh, cool. So Audis and
BMWs.
Oh, okay.
Mercedes, yep.
Oh, nice little trade there. Yeah. Let's talk about your siblings. Do you have brothers and sisters? How many and where are you?
I have an older brother.
Okay.
And I am the younger sister. There's just two of us.
Okay.
And, my goal was to make sure that I was appropriately torturing him.
Oh, and did you succeed in that throughout childhood?
Yes, because I would accidentally answer the phone, which was always for him and always some girl. And if he had not been nice to me, I was calling him by a different name.
Oh, okay. So you're 4 when the snow thing happens.
And it was a lot of snow.
Would you say it would be like hip high, knee high, calf high?
So I was 4, and I just remember having to be on top of somebody's shoulders in order to be out and about. And that's why I have this memory of Massachusetts just being buried in snow that meant a 4-year-old couldn't be seen walking through shoveled pathways.
Okay, so would you say that we could start with that as being one of your earliest memories too?
Yes, definitely.
So about 4. And that big snowstorm, Boston. Okay.
Oh, yeah. It was so fun, but we were out of school for like a week. It was like, it was not the whole, we're going to go back soon. It was like, whoa, we handle snow, but we can't handle this snow.
What was ours? Ours was 91. 91. Have you heard about the 91?
No.
Because we had one in Minnesota.
The blizzard of 91. It was Halloween 1991. And I think they canceled school for like 2 days.
Yeah, it was like 4 feet of snow. It was kind of crazy, right? You're not even quite in school, right?
Preschool
down the street. Oh, okay. That's nice. Mm-hmm. See, I went to a daycare that was across the street from the school.
Oh.
It was the perfect thing. And there was a group of us that would go. It was a woman's house.
Yeah.
And so we would just walk from school to daycare. And my mom worked just up the street, like 3 blocks. So she would come. I mean, it was like the best thing ever. Of course, it wasn't in Boston. It was a small little town, but the convenience of that must have been nice.
It was. I lived in the Back Bay, so lots of convenience, lots of things. But the preschool I went to was right there in a brownstone. So you'd walk across the street and then down near Edgerly Road Park, which is still there today.
Have you gone back and just gone, oh my gosh, I
back
remember?
Recently, but I brought my 2 daughters for the first time, and they got to see where Mommy used to play and where she made the scar on her knee when she was 3.
Okay, let's talk about this.
Edgerly Road Park.
Let's talk about this. One of the questions that I like to ask, sometimes I skip it, but do you remember early trips to the hospital? Had you ever been to the hospital as a kid?
I remember this particular one because my mom just kept saying, I don't know. I think she needs a tetanus shot. And
okay.
And that's all the phrase I could remember is because there was so much tension in her voice. It was like, she was quiet. And then she was like, I don't know, but I think she needs a tetanus shot. And now I know why. It was a rusty nail on the side of the playing structure that had grabbed my knee. And so that's why she was freaking out, because it wasn't a clean nail. It was a rusty one.
It was rusty and it didn't seem to heal, right? It wasn't healing
Well, it wasn't
properly.
stopping bleeding.
Okay.
At this particular moment, it was like almost a puncture.
Oh, sure.
And so to this day, I have the scar, and people always ask me, that's such an interesting scar, and why do you have that? And it sort of looks like an eye.
If I'm not mistaken, so you say you grew up in the 70s. You're also 70s and early 80s, right, Jake?
Yeah. Yep.
It was a different time, right? That there was rusty nails everywhere. And
Exactly.
there were playgrounds that gave you slivers.
I did not have a car seat.
Right?
I had life without a car seat.
Is that the title of your autobiography?
Your parents were always the amateur pediatricians, like, she just needs a tetanus shot, or just slap a Band-Aid on it. It'll be okay.
Oh, yeah.
Fine.
Band-Aid saved lives. Let's skip ahead now a little bit when you start school. You seem to be a pretty confident person. Were you confident as a young girl when you started school?
Oh, I would not say so. I think I'm confident now because I learned to laugh at myself at a young age. But no, I grew up when busing was a big thing in the 70s. And so people were bused all the way out to school, and my mom didn't really like that. So she actually moved us out to the suburb so that we could actually do all the after school activities and not get like stranded in the suburb at somebody's house. Cause that was part of what would happen for busing. If you go an hour away for school and then there's a snowstorm during the school day, you might actually get stuck because your school bus can't come back and get you. And so, but we became the house. Funny enough, that my brother's friends from basketball or football or whatever, we would be the house that they would stay at when they got stranded.
The house. You became the house.
We became the stranded house.
That's fantastic.
Out in Melrose, Massachusetts. But it was really kind of cool that she was just willing to do she's like, I'll do the commute. And so she drove every day to Oak Grove train station, and she would get on the train and she would go all the way down to downtown Boston. She worked in Bowdoin Center.
Yeah.
But she did the commute for us, which was kind of cool. So got to really enjoy grade school and growing up out in Melrose after I moved there in second grade.
What were some of the subjects in school you were drawn to right away? Once the door was kind of open, like once you start going, oh, we have to spell. We're learning words. There's math. There's, reading.
I really loved reading because I really loved imaginary places.
Yeah,
and
me too.
So I was that kid who could, like, in my mind, I'm going to go get on a magic carpet ride, and I can see the carpet and I can see where we're soaring over. So I was the kid who was terrified by the monster at the end of this book too.
Oh, sure. So you would really
Grover
affect you.
really had me.
Right.
Yeah. I was, I mean, it was harsh, but yet I was tormented.
So here's something that happened. I'm just going to share this. So a teacher had not yet assigned us reading level groups.
Ooh.
Right? So beginning of the year at home, I've got a George Washington biography. I've got this weird science book I'm reading, and I'm constantly reading Trivial Pursuit cards for fun.
Nice.
Which is, Jake, that's probably one of the trivia I was drawn to. I get to school, and there's a little mini library inside the classroom. She goes, everybody just feel free to check out the book. So the first week I'm reading The Duck That Quacked, and I'm just like sloughing it because I'm hauling a lot of words at home. I've got multiple books going on. I'm not going to work at school. I'm going to read the easy ones. So I started out in the lowest reading class, and I was kind of devastated.
Stuck there.
I got stuck there, and I was devastated, and I was like, excuse me, Mrs. Warrington, I'm literally the best reader here. I should be in the first one. She's like, all right, we'll prove that. I based it on the books that you were checking out. I was like, oh man. You should see my bedroom floor. There's 6 books that I'm halfway through. Oh, okay. So at any rate, reading, so important. And my mom emphasized that it creates imagination and creativity.
Imagination. I literally am a creative. I always have been in terms of even now leading marketing teams. We tell stories.
All right. So let's stick around here early grade school. What are you playing with? What are the toys back at home?
Well, I mean, I had my Atari 5200.
Wow.
Nice.
So I was Mrs.
game?
Pac-Man.
There it is. Okay.
Oh, 100%.
Tetris. Total Tetris.
Oh,
nerd.
Tetris. Yes. Tetris was huge, right? I remember. Yeah. The
Atari.
Frogger. Do you remember the theme song? Isn't it? It's
no,
really
I
unique.
remember the song of like when the sound it makes when Pac-Man dies. And I remember the Donkey Kong celebration song. But I don't. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I had a band in here once that played all video game soundtracks.
Oh, that's
It was an
awesome.
electric band. Yeah.
That's so fun.
So cool.
That is
Like,
definitely
oh my gosh,
cool.
they're playing Mario live. Okay, so you were a gamer too.
I was a gamer too.
Did you like dolls? Were you the kind of girl that liked dolls?
I
or were you
had
kind
dolls,
of
but I had an older brother who would kind of torment me. So
Sure.
I had a series of what I like to call the headless Barbies, because we lived in a condo and he could actually take the head off the Barbie and shove it in the drop ceiling at the top of the hallway because he was taller than me. He's about 7 years older than me as well. And so I would be screaming and my mom would just be like, "What are you talking about?" I'm like, "He took the head off my Barbie doll." And then I realized that the only way to really defeat him was to not care.
Oh, you figured some stuff out early on, huh?
Exactly. So I was like, okay, you can keep doing it. I'm moving on from Barbie.
Do you still have your Barbies?
No.
Okay, because a lot of people will hang on to them as keepsakes, but you've literally moved on because what's the point? There's no head.
Exactly.
On them. Okay.
And combing their hair was half the fun.
Fun. Oh, yeah, right.
So it's like you take the head off the Barbie doll. It's really just a stick.
Or lots of four
With
sticks.
reticulating, exactly, with reticulating joints. And that's about it.
What about sports? Were you attracted
In
to
high
any of
school, I did, but it's funny because my very first sport was Little League Baseball, and I was 7 years old, and I was playing on this tiny little team, and basically I was out in center field picking daisies because there wasn't a kid who could hit the ball anywhere near me. But it was fine because for me, I was like enjoying myself. They would literally have to wave at me and say, "Hillary, get up. What are you doing?" I'd be having an entire imaginary experience out there. I'd be the queen of something going on because the ball was never going to come. But they were like, "Oh, but Hillary, you need to at least stand up."
Yeah, it's the other team's turn to take the field. You need to come back and hit the ball now.
You need to stand up. We're having a party. We're busy.
You did like some sport. You know, it's funny that you say that nobody hit the ball out that. I think I've shared this before. In T-ball, I remember, I was the pitcher.
Isn't it on a tee?
It's on a tee. But I'm the busiest kid on the field because they're not hitting it out into the field either. They're just
hitting it to you.
barely nicking it, and then it's hitting it to me. And I got really good at throwing it to first base.
Nice.
So I guess that's all I did. I was
You
really
became a pitcher.
Yeah, I was a pitcher in T-ball.
In T-ball. Well, but you know, that throw to first base is really important.
Very, very. And I got really good at it throughout. Then I ended up playing third base because that's a hard throw.
Yes.
So, and I got good at that. So I didn't go to the majors or anything. I guess about this time, you know, you're probably double digits, like 9, 10, 11.
Ooh, yeah.
Let's talk about music starts to become really important.
Oh, yeah.
And so what were you listening to? So I'm assuming it was records, or was it cassettes?
Records and cassettes. I was making my own mixes off the radio because, you know, you just didn't have enough New Edition and New Kids on the Block playing in a row.
One of my favorite songs of all time, and it's on my playlist, is Cool It Now.
Yes.
And I can do the rap part.
Really?
Yeah.
You've definitely got to
Okay,
do it
here
for
we go.
me.
This is from Cool It Now.
Do you want
by
me to
New
like
Edition.
give you a little like beat in? Like
That might
Cool
throw
It
me off.
Now.
Why you all coming down on me, trying to tell me how my life is supposed to be? I know they only trying to help me out, trying to show me what life is really about, but this time I'm gonna make it on my own. So why don't you fellas just leave me alone? Ronnie, Bobby, Ricky, and Mike. If I love the girl, who cares who you like? Cool
Love
it
it.
now.
Yes.
Awesome.
Wow.
And so were you also then boombox?
Total boombox kid. I mean, I went
big-
through D batteries like you would not believe.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God. It
Yeah,
was just
right.
like my mom would I'd just be like, "Mom, are you going to the store?" She's like, "Let me guess, batteries." I was like, "Yes, because I have to take the boombox outside because we're having an imaginary picnic and they need music."
You knew it because your Cool It Now was Cool It Now.
Exactly.
No time for the
Slow
battery.
down. Exactly. And it's like
Oh
you
my
could still
gosh.
get maybe like 30 minutes on the radio after that, but then
Right.
you stopped being able to turn the volume all the way up, so then it wasn't booming anything. You could go in and plug in, but then you'd be inside.
Right.
And you had to turn it down anyway.
Right.
And you hope to gracious goodness is that little half hour of radio magically gave you more juice in the battery to play the tapes again. So you're like, oh, we'll just try it.
Try it.
We'll
Just
give it a
try
whirl.
it.
Hey, nope.
Or no, take them out, rearrange them, lick them.
Well, what about fixing your cassette tape? Can I just tell you, I was magical at fixing the cassette tape. I had it down to a science. You used a fat crayon to actually move things forward and back. And then when you just had everything laid out straight, you could actually use a pencil to wind quickly.
Yep, the number 2 pencil is what we used.
Interesting.
To wind it.
The reason we used the fat crayon is because sometimes you got all the way pulled out and you needed something that you could just wind that wouldn't unwind as you just wanted one crank at a time. So if you had a real tedious job, you needed that fat crayon.
Okay, so you were talking about taping off the radio. Did you ever find it annoying when the DJs would talk through the intro all the way up until the person started singing? You know, if you wanted to... I mean, that's a long intro. And the DJ would be like, coming up next after the break, it's 75 degrees and sunny outside. And you're sitting there ready for your fingers. Dude, shut up. I wanted to catch the intro.
Well, it was the worst when you were trying to make those mixtapes for the person you had the crush on.
I know.
Like, how better am I?
It was a gift mixtape.
How am I better to tell Cheryl that I love her than I have the DJ going,
well, now we're back on live.
And you're like, I really like you, Cheryl.
So let me ask you about making these tapes, because it's my understanding you just wanted to capture your favorite songs that were on there. Or did you have like a theme? Were you like, ooh, I want this song because it fits this tape's overall theme?
That's funny that you ask, because I was that child who was like, this is my heartbroken cassette. I play it when the boy I like doesn't like me back, or he didn't send me a good note. All of a sudden I had to like have that sad song playlist.
What was the big jam off of the Heartbreak mix?
Please Don't Go Girl.
That's the one I had in my head right at that moment. I'm not kidding.
Really?
Please don't go, girl.
Oh my gosh.
And so I would imagine that they wanted me back.
Yeah, that's how you would like heal. That's what music, the healing power of music.
The healing power of music, literally, for young people with crushes.
What were some other themes?
Oh, well, then I had the dance party mix. And
of course, right.
That was the one where you pretended to be a solid gold dancer. So it usually matched
Solid
whatever
gold.
the theme was from the top 10 solid gold songs. And I was Darcel in my mind, who was like the lead black dancer, because she was amazing as a solid gold dancer. And I wanted to be her when I grew up.
I want to go back and watch some of those solid golds.
I went as her one year for Halloween.
Oh, wow.
I did. I had my red leotard on and a little gold belt that I had taken from like one of my mom's work dresses, and another little gold headband, which I think was probably one of her necklaces or chains that I probably shouldn't have taken. But it was fitting my theme, because I needed to have this gold line here and then the gold belt around the waist and tights in my ballet slippers. And I was a solid gold dancer.
Okay, so we're in junior high. We're getting a little older. Do you remember your first concert?
Hello, I'm a Boston girl. Do I remember my first concert?
Okay.
Oh.
Wow.
Hanging
tough.
Yes.
Yeah. Fun fact.
I loved my New Kids on the Block.
You also loved New Edition.
I did, but I was now old enough to go. Like, I was old enough to have a poster on my wall.
Sure, but I guess my point is you kind of like the boy bands.
Oh, yeah. They were literally geared for us.
Oh, my gosh.
I was their target audience.
Oh, for sure. Can you name 3 of the New Kids on the Block? Can you name 3 of them?
Donnie.
Yep.
Mike. No, Mark. Sorry.
Mark?
No.
No?
No.
He
was there for a bit. Mark Wahlberg was in it for a hot tick. Donnie is correct. Danny. Joey. And then the brothers, Jonathan and Jordan.
Wow.
No. I remember the...
Jake, what's
fun
happening
fact,
over
New
here?
Kids on the Block was my first concert as well.
What?
Yeah.
Really?
That's a first here. Okay.
That is a first. Well, I had to wait in line to get into the garden, and my mom was the mom who took us. Let's just say I was enjoying myself, but I couldn't have too much fun because I had my mom. But I loved her dearly when I realized all the torture that I put her through and all of the things that I was able to do because she was just awesome. She would go with earplugs to New Kids on the Block. She was a saint.
Wow. Good for her. Shout out. Shout out, Mom. Did you do plays, musicals, chorus, band, all the stuff?
Godspell. I am the person who hits the high note and oh, bless the Lord, my soul.
Oh, wow.
Yes. And Jesus Christ Superstar.
I was on some certain medication and it made me dream crazy. And one of the dreams was I won a lottery ticket to go and see Lin-Manuel Miranda's reimagining of Jesus Christ Superstar.
What?
That's amazing.
I'd go.
I would be there in a heartbeat.
They had to redo the whole Orpheum Theater because the entire place was the set, and the audience sat amongst the actors around them, and there was a pasture over here, and
that's awesome.
I don't know, I guess there was steps over there, and I'm sitting there enjoying it and going, oh, this is amazing. And this usher comes up to me and goes, sir, you're not in the right seat. Your seat is over there, kind of by the pillars or something like that. See that seat over there? I'm like, oh my gosh, what do I do? So I don't know. It was like, what's the buzz? Tell me what's happening. So I get up and I join the actors on stage doing the choreography. What's the buzz? Tell me what's happening.
And
Plop.
you knew it all.
I knew it because I'm a musical theater person, and at least was. And I sat. I was like, oh my gosh, that was so embarrassing. Whew. Okay. No, big deal. A few minutes, numbers later, tap, tap, tap. Excuse me, sir. No, not the pillars. On the far side of the theater, sir. Because he was really embarrassed because he's walking through the action. And I turn and I snap at him and I go, I'll have to wait till there's a song I know. And then it was, try not to get worried, try not to. And so, or I don't know how to, or whatever it was. And I'm just do this floaty dance. And I plop myself down. I'm like, okay, please, this has to be it. So I finish the musical. Everybody's leaving. It's all packed. People are coming up to me saying, you were amazing in the show. That was my dream. And then I woke up.
That's awesome.
And that's so funny.
I totally would not want to wake up from that dream. Like,
I know.
No, I didn't want to either.
I want to go see this show now.
Well, I think I still have the meds. So, I'm just kidding. I tease. Okay.
But you could certainly, send your ideas to Lin-Manuel. He may, honor them.
Cool. Gosh, it feels like we could just keep going. Covered a lot. I'm glad we got to some certain things, but...
Dude, it is now time. It is time to go back and think about the clues that Hillery gave us in order to figure out her birthday, the day, the month, and the year. Think back now.
Mm-hmm.
Decapitated dolls.
Mm-hmm.
New Kids on the Block.
Yeah.
Cool it now.
Mm-hmm. Atari. Yeah. Yep. The Snowstorm. All right. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to try to guess your exact birthday. And here I go. So you were 4 when that happened, and you said it was in 1976. So that means I think you're born in 1972. And during that snowstorm, either you are an end of the year, and it happened after your birthday, so you could be November, December, or you were born at the beginning of the year, and so that you were 4 when that snowstorm happened. So I'm going to take a stab here. You ready? I think you were born February 3rd, 1972.
That is incorrect.
Oh, how close am I?
Actually, you would have been closer had you gone to 73, because I'm November 10th, 1972.
Because you're the end of the year, 72?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so I got the year, but you kind of threw me that a little bit.
You toyed with it, though.
I toyed with it. I could have gone the end of the year, and I probably was going to say February for the beginning or November for the end.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Not
awesome. Well, I'm glad you're here.
Thank you.
Your work is actually quite prevalent and relevant around here.
I know we're doing some work for you guys now, too.
That's right.
Star Studio.
We're looking to rebrand. And yes, absolutely. We love working with your team. This has been a pleasure. Thanks for spending some time with us.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for joining us for today's Childhood Chatcast, brought to you by Buzzsprout. To get new and previous episodes of Childhood Chatcast, head over to starstudiomn.org.